Hey guys, we're here with Ira, who did something in One Piece.
Hey everybody, this is Ira, of course VOP. As you know, I mostly just play Yu-Gi-Oh, but I did enter a One Piece Treasure Cup, and I got first playing Nami of all decks. I probably haven't played One Piece since OPO 2, so that would be March of last year. But I was looking at all the decks and I was like, this is a deck that doesn't really require you to know how to play this game. So I was like, I'll give it a whirl. I already collect One Piece. I like blue. So I'll give Nami a try, and it worked out. So I'll get into the deck profile and kind of give a little bit of some of my logic and reasoning to it. I kind of put I guess Yu-Gi-Oh brain a little bit, but I would say a lot of the deck's probably relatively standard. So with that, I'll get into it. So of course, the for Kaya, the heart and soul of the deck. Pretty much why you play the deck, does everything for it. Draw 2, it's a 2K counter. I am on the Kuja Pirates build, which pretty much inspired by the deck that won the regional. I played at slightly different ratios. I know he was maxing out on it and even playing the other Amazon counter. I ended up cutting that. But I am playing the the Rosa, and then I am maxing out on the blocker. This worked pretty well for me. I am playing the Perfume, so I do have an additional target, even though I'm not playing the 2K counter Boa like he was. But overall, it did what it had to do. The search and level of, kind of the usual. One thing that I did bump up, I know in his list he was on 2 Apis. I'm playing 3, and the main reason is at our locals there's a whole lot of Rage. And so people kept, in testing, dropping pudding on me. So I was like, I'm just going to bump up Apis and try to play with a smaller hand. And it honestly kind of came up. I was playing underneath the 8-drop black card that makes you discard, again, as well as pudding. And then I was playing the 1 hanger, which is just good. It also, you need it for the mirror. And I was playing 1 Mr. 1, namely because it can get back gavel, and then so just helps with milling. And I was on 1 Zeph, kind of for 2 different reasons. One, as far as this card's concerned, you need it in the mirror. The first time I 1-for-1 net deck, the deck that won the regional, and I played the mirror at locals, and he just waxed me. Because he actually played 2 in his deck. And then the more I thought about it, it just also makes sense because it's the same math that's already in the deck. In other words, it's a 5-drop. If you bounce the Kaya, it mills 2. You play a Kaya, you've gotten 4 cards deep in your deck, and you've used 6 Dawn. Basically the same math as using 2 Pilaf. So in my mind, it kind of still messed with the overall math that we already do in the deck. And that's all the characters. And the rest of the deck is just a whole bunch of events. So of course the best card in the deck, Pot of Greed. Draw 2, on trigger, draw 2. Not a lot else to be said. The brick that says draw 2, and then like I said, the other brick that just says to draw 1. Personally, I like this package, especially with the more Apis, gives me more things to discard. Right now, personally I wouldn't change this, but it's definitely just a flex spot. And then the 1-drop counters that pretty much is in every single Nami deck. Honestly, not a lot needs to be said on these. If you play this deck, and honestly, historically speaking, if you played any blue deck, you play these cards in some capacity. I will say, when watching some of the other Nami players at our local, I find the way one uses White Snake has a big correlation to how well they do in the tournament. I think this card's insane. The fact that it gets the permanent buff and then kind of makes the math work out better when you start dropping the gavels and everything else. And then, of course, and then it's just the main 2-drops that everybody plays in this deck. Once again, everything just kind of does what it's supposed to do, which is, you know, thankfully not a lot to say about them, as there wasn't anything all that wild that happened with them. Really, the only thing I will say, just in general, and this actually kind of harkens back to playing Mr. 1, as this came up more than once, is where I would hit gavel off trigger, I would bounce the Kaya, and then on the follow-up turn I'd play Mr. 1 to grab back that gavel. And so essentially, once again, now all of a sudden 2-Don is kind of representing digging 4 deep in the deck. And so that was basically my logic. I was just trying to gain value in terms of how much further is this going to get me in the deck. I had a lot of fun. I know a lot of people don't really like this deck because it's basically just the stun deck of One Piece, but I had a great time. I definitely could see myself play it again. And that's the deck profile, and hope to have some more One Piece content for y'all in the future. That's Team Sleepy Time signing out. Thanks.